Matrix. I'm gonna run down my experiences, but before I start this video, I just want to say, I just want to tell y'all my experiences. I feel like I gotta be as real and raw with y'all as I possibly can. I know I make truth content, woke content, conscious content on this channel, but I feel like I gotta cross different barriers. Just give y'all different insights on things, and like this is my perspective, like my first POV, my point of view of being homeless, and because I lived it for years. And I just figured I shared with you all, but I'm gonna give y'all the basic rundown. I was what? Okay, me and my older brother, we went live with my dad at the age of 14, right? But mind y'all, my parents had four kids together. My mother had six kids. I think my dad has 10 kids. But my dad and mother showed favoritism, right? Between me and a few of my other siblings. But me and my older sibling lived with my dad at the age of 14, we both never really done good in school. I ain't gonna lie. But like towards the age of 18 and 19, I think my father had seen that I didn't want to finish the program, and I didn't want to, because I knew it was a crack of shit. I knew they was trying to indoctrinate me with their ideologies, with their false philosophies, and I didn't want to keep that, I didn't want that programmed into my subconscious. So I dropped out my senior year, and then I turned 19, and then I never wanted to work like that because I seen it as meaningless. But my older brother, he started working with my dad. But my dad always showed favoritism to him over me. But I know why now. I know why I was the black sheep growing up in my family. It's because I'm that I was, and this is not me being over overcompensating myself, or I was just being full of myself. It's just because I know I was that one. I was that one seed that was destined to grow. Even though I never had no water poured on me. Say a rose grew from concrete. I'm the definition of a rose that grew from concrete. Because I never had no support. But back to the story. He always showed favoritism to him. So when we came up to age as young men, we started working. He started working with my dad. But I did have a job from 17 till I was like almost 19. I worked at Taco Bell for like a year, in like almost 2 years. But after that, I just lost hope. I was like, man, why am I working every day and I'm still broke? I still don't have nothing. So I just seen working a 9 to 5 is meaningless. And my dad always stayed on me. You need to get a job. You need to get a job. You're not gonna be able to stay here if you don't get a job. You're not gonna be able to live here if you don't get a job. So that was pressure on me right there. Me not wanting to work. Me not wanting to work. Wanting to go to them. You need to go to the military. I don't want to do none of these things. So at the age of 19, I started sleeping on friends. My dad kicked me out. My dad, because I was supposed to be in at a certain time. He set a certain time. I got to the house at 10:05. Huh. I was 5 minutes late, and he just kept the doors locked. He wouldn't let me in. I ain't gonna tell y'all that, but look, at this time I wasn't doing coke or smack or heroin. I was just smoking weed, drinking, doing what teenagers do, popping pills from time to time, out there having fun with the girls, just doing what 18, 19-year-old kids, well, young adults do at the time. Because we was programmed, we was lost, we was heavily influenced by the music we was listening to. So we was doing what we heard our favorite puppet rappers say, trying to live a false lifestyle. So I was just out there in the wind, and then I started couch surfing, and then I was sleeping from different friends' houses, and then after that, my I burnt a lot of bridges. I can't necessarily burn bridges. I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have a lot of people that would take me in. So even family, even family. So at 19, I started couch surfing, and then I think in my early before I turned 20, I had a baby, and that made it even worse. And I was standing out, and then I got home, boom, boom. Look, okay, I was homeless in 2008, right? So I was 19 going on. Matter of fact, I was homeless in 2007. I remember it being 20 degrees outside, y'all. and my dad had a carport on his house. And it was a cherry out there. It was 20, 30 degrees outside. I'm 19 years old. I'm outside wrapped up in my sweater inside of my jacket. I'm so cold. You gotta think I'm young. I've never dealt with nothing like this before. I'm like, man, why am I going through this shit? Why me? But my older brother would be in the house. And I would knock on his window sometimes, like, hey, bro, let me in, man. It's 20, 30 degrees outside. I don't think I'm gonna make it. And I slept out there for days. I said, you know what? I gotta go find some shelter. So I walked around the neighborhood that we lived in at the time, and I found a few abandoned houses. So I started sleeping in abandoned houses. You know what? Sometimes when people just move out, they still have the power on in their house, you know. But most of the time I slept in a house with no power or nothing, but it was better than sleeping outside because I had shelter just in case it rained or snowed. So I did that for a while. But it was this woman up at the school. She took a liking to me. I think her name was Miss Dorothy. She was real nice to me. She always had took a liking to me. And I got so tired and I was just wore out from not being able to shower, not being able to take care of my hygiene, just be sleeping on the street and being so young took its toll on me. So I went up to Miss Dorothy because I didn't know what else to do. So I went up there and talked to her. I said, hey, look, Miss Dorothy, I'm homeless. I ain't got nowhere to go. I've been sleeping outside for weeks. I'm hungry. I'm cold. I'm confused. I'm lost. So she took me down to this homeless shelter. But me being young, I walked in, seen all this big grown man in there. I walked back out. I said, man, fuck it. I'd rather sleep outside. So then I went out to my auntie's house and she let me, she put me up for a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to my auntie. She put me up for a little bit. And then I started like after that, I overstayed my I felt like I was overstaying my welcome. So me being me, I was like, let me get out of her house because she already had a lot of kids in there. So I started sleeping inside of her heating room. She had a utility room behind her house. She got on to me. It's like you can't be sleeping in my utility room. So after that, I just started sleeping in abandoned houses again. I slept in parks. I slept on abandoned school buses. I slept in laundromats. I slept under the stairs and out of the apartments. Like they had like upstairs you can climb up to go inside of your apartment building. I slept on the stairs. Man, I slept in some wild places. I'm surprised that I survived. I'm surprised that I made it out of that shit. But I was young, and then I finally gained up the courage because I got tired of sleeping outside. I was like, man, I can't keep doing this because I was homeless for like 4 or 5 years, y'all. I went on the street. I was 19 years old. I became homeless at 19. I was homeless all the way up until I was 24, 23 years old. So I was homeless for about off and on. I'm not gonna say the full blown time because I stayed with my baby moms. I stayed with friends. My twin brother put me up a few times. Shout out to him. Real big shout out to him. Even though we're not even close like that right now, but I still got love for him because he's the only one that was there for me when like everybody in my family became agents. Because the Matrix turn. This is what the Matrix does when they see that you have a special something. They'll make your family agents against you. So the Matrix always had my mom and my dad against me. So when the time finally came and I came into adulthood as a young man, that was an excuse for them to throw me out, to get rid of me. And I never stayed with them after that. But it builds character. It made me more independent. That's how I was able to welcome in the truth. That's how I was able to wake up because I was so used to being let down. And I seen a lot of shit being young and being in that shelter. So that opened the doors for me to take in this knowledge. That's why I'm able to you have to have thick skin dealing with this truth, being in consciousness. So me being homeless, it prepped me for that because it made me strong mentally. I had to and physically, I had to get strong to be able to take care of myself at being so young. But I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. Yeah, the Matrix makes your family agents against you, and it can turn a situation like that, and you can be on the streets forever just because the Matrix might see something in you that you might have something in you that can crash this system. So they'll try to target you at an early age. But yeah, I went to the shelter, right? I stayed there for like a couple years, off and on. But majority of the time I was there. I made a lot of good friends there, a lot of good memories there too. That's why I'm so humble to this day. That's why I don't mind giving to people. That's why I don't mind if somebody, especially somebody in this consciousness just like me, I don't mind giving. I'll give somebody my last dollar. I've been more of a giver than I have been a receiver. I'm always giving, and I don't ask for, I don't look for nothing. I don't ask for nothing back because I know what it's like to be in that situation. I dealt with that shit for years at a young age. So yeah, I was in the shelter, and this woman named Miss Lynn helped me out a whole lot too. She took a liking to me too. Yeah, but this woman named Miss Lynn took a liking to me at the shelter. So she helped get me into this program. But mind you, while I was in this shelter, I was working in the kitchen, right, making 50 cents an hour. But somebody first told me that, I said, man, I need to get it. So my daughter was just about to, so I was talking to some of the OGs, like, man, you can work in the kitchen, but you basically working for your room and board. So they put me, I slept with a knife on me. When I first got there, I slept with it. When I was down on the white flag part of the building, white flag meaning it's like below 20 degrees outside. It means it has to be like 10 degrees outside for it to be white flag. So you in there with murderers, killers. I was in this shelter with a murderer. He was on the run. We worked in the kitchen together. And that shit freaked me out. I was like, man, I used to get that dude cigarettes. I'm like, man, I used to give him Black and Miles, and he on the run for murder. Like I literally had conversations with this dude. Next thing I know, the U.S. Marshal showing up to the kitchen I'm working in, picking him up for murder in another state. That shit, like I was around the worst of the. It was basically like being in prison, but I was on the street. But anyways, look. So I made 50 cents an hour, but basically when I worked in this kitchen, uh, I basically paid for the room and board. You wasn't really working for the monopoly money. You was basically working for them for your lights and your basic necessities because you got 3 houses in the cot. They put you up in the room. It was better than being on the first floor. So I did that for a while until I was able to get out on my own. But this woman, Miss Lynn, helped get me into a program, and then she helped me get me in an apartment. So I had an apartment for a little while, and I moved my daughter in with my baby moms. It lasted for a little while, but we didn't get along. So, that got split up and I lost my crib and boom, I was homeless again. I was back on the street again. And then I had ended up going to jail, doing a little small jail time, like 5 months. And then I'm back on the street when I get out of jail. But I'm staying with my twin brother, couch surfing off and on. This was like in 2010, 2011. I was locked up in 2010, 2011, but 2010, 09, I was homeless again. I'm like, dang, what the fuck I'm going to do? So I'm going back to the shelter again. And just, man, it's the worst. Like, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. And you know what's so crazy? Sometimes homeless people are more happy than somebody living in $1 million mansion. This is real shit. Real shit I'm telling y'all. I seen people with, even me, had the bare minimum, not one red cent in their pocket, and they have more morals, they have more intellect, they have more self-love and care than someone living in a $1 million house. Because you look out for each other. You learn to have not you learn to have more love and care for yourself, but you have more care for the people around you because you don't have nothing. See, this is what the Matrix wants. They want us going outside trying to find happiness. They say, hey, go buy that $500,000 house, go buy that car, go get those shoes, and that's gonna make you happy. No, that shit don't. It was just one guy named the Birdman. He would walk around feeding pigeons all day, just feeding pigeons, giving them bread. But he would get a check every month, right? So he would go cash his check. This how much this guy didn't care about money because if somebody seen him on the street roll past him, they'd be like, man, fucking bum, go get a job. But this dude got thousands of dollars every month, but he was standing in this shelter. He would take his check, go cash it. He go get $20 bills, $5 bills, $50 bills. Some people would take advantage of him. I ain't gonna lie. I never did it because I never took a dollar from him. But he would walk around and pass out his money to people. $50, $20. I'm like, wow. That's how selfless he was. And some people just don't care about it. But me seeing that because I went through that so young. That's why you're not gonna meet nobody else down on the earth as me, because and that's just my experiences. I got hella stories for me living on the street. Uh, I had more good times than bad times though. It might sound like because you have to turn a negative into a positive. Okay, I'm on the street, I'm homeless, I'm cold, I'm starving, but you still have to find joy. I found joy through music, so that's why in the intro of my videos, sometimes y'all hear me. I got a lot of instrumentals on my videos because music helped get me through being homeless for so long. I would just I would just put my headset on and just zone out. It would take me to another place. I will forget about like, damn, I'm sleeping outside. Or damn, I'm sleeping in this shelter around a bunch of strangers. I don't have shit. That music would take me away from that. I would kind of leave Planet Kai. I would lead his plane. You know, but man, I was in there with some young guys too. It was guys in there young just like me. And you know what's so crazy? Remember I told you I was the black sheep of out of my mom and dad's kids because some of my brothers ended up doing the same thing that I did. They ended up making some of the same decisions that I made in my life, right? And they still got support from my parents. My parents still showed them support. I'm thinking to myself, damn, when I did that, you told me I had to go live on the street. But he does the same thing. You still put him up in your house. You still support him. You give him the money. You help him get cars, help him get clothes, help him feed his family. But when I did it, I was a bum. I had to go figure it out on my own. But when they do it, it's okay. That let me know right there that our parents is really not our parents at birth. These are really not our birth parents. I feel like my parents are really not. They not my parents. I was born in. They chose my family for me. I was born into a family like of agents. My mom and dad were two of the biggest agents. I'm not even fronting. And it's just me being real. Because how can what's so crazy? I got so low at one point in time when I was sleeping outside of my dad's house. I had a pistol at the time, right? I had I had a fake pistol days. I had a BB gun. But I was sitting on this porch like, man, I gotta figure something out. I'm 19. I was about to go up there and rob the store. But one thing I can tell you, my older brother said, "What are you doing, man? Do not do that." He said, I'm gonna go in the house, get you some food from out the fridge. That way you can eat." But I was so fucking hungry. I mean, I know that was me knowing what I know now. I know that was the Matrix. I know that was the demiurges trying to trying to put me in prison. But I was dead set on going to rob this store just so I could eat. I had this fake pistol inside of my coat. I said, man, I'm about to go up here and rob this shit. I'm starving. I gotta eat. But my brother came out there and said, no, man, don't do it. I'm gonna go ahead and get you a little something. And he went, and I just sat out there the whole night, 30 degrees out there. And I ended up not making that dumb decision. But me knowing what I know now, I know those were entities trying to get me to self-destruct. There's plenty of times. It was many a times I wanted to it was many a times I wanted to say, what's up, Echoes of Peace? What's up with you? It was many a times I wanted to self-destruct. I wanted to end it all because I'm like, man, I'm living in poverty, I'm homeless, I'm poor. But the only thing that kept me going was my little girl. I had a newborn baby, my daughter. That's the only thing that kept me, you know, with like a little bit of sense of hope. Like, hey, maybe I still have a hope because I got this baby I got to take care of. So that's the only thing that kept me tied to this matrix. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna be 100 with you. I'm gonna be a trillion% real with y'all. If it wasn't for my daughter, I would have checked out a long time ago. Because I feel like, man, I don't have no family here. I don't have a support system at a young age. I'm like, man, I just don't have it. So I'm like, man, what's the point of me being here? It's like my parents are agents, my brothers are agents. I got the whole world against, the whole matrix is against me just because I don't want to conform and go be a fucking slave. So I was like, wanting to check out at times. I was like, nah, my daughter she kept me strong, you know, but it was a wild trip. It was a wild ride. We just walking the streets all day, going from soup kitchen to soup kitchen. Uh, and it was dudes like I said, it was dudes my age in there. We was young. We would just hang out together, man. Some of the wildest shit. That's what I'm saying. That's what they say. The old saying is, A man on somebody on the street will show you more respect than the CEO or the CEO of a billion dollar company. Somebody on the street will show you more gratitude than the CEO of one of these multi-billion dollar corporations. That reptilian that owns these that owns one of these corporations will show no gratitude. They'll walk right by you because they soulless. They have no heart. They have no spirit. But somebody living on the street that has nothing, sleeping under a box, if they had a piece of bread and you starving, and if they starving and you starving, they would split that bread with you and give it to you. We both gonna eat. That's how I am. That's why I don't mind giving to people. I don't mind. I don't want nothing back in return. You show me some respect and gratitude. If we both starving, we're gonna figure out a way to eat. If I got a cracker here, we both hungry. I'm gonna split the crack in half. Give you what half. I can have the other half. We both thirsty. We can split the water. And that's but we surrounded by soulless beings that don't have empathy. How can you ride by somebody that's living on the street and say, oh, they need to go get a job? No, man. This matrix is designed to keep majority of us on the bottom of this goddamn pyramid. This place is ran by soulless entities. So of course, all this land here, they saying that this all these empty homes here. There's no way in hell people should be homeless. And when I was homeless, I thought it was my fault. When I was sleeping on the street, I thought it was my fault. I blamed myself for years. I was like, man, it's my fault why I'm like this. I don't got no high school education. I don't have a big 100,000 a year K job. So I blame myself. I was like, man, I should have went to the military. I should have done this. I should have listened to my mom and dad's instructions. I just felt miserable. I was down on myself. And that's what I'm saying. So most of the time, majority of the time, NPC might ride by a homeless camp like, you go get a job, you fucking bums. No, man. The Monopoly board is rigged for most of us to lose. So you on the outside looking in. If you homeless, you on the inside looking out. A homeless guy looking at you like you the ultimate slave. Like, damn, at least at least I'm a bum on the grid, but at least I'm not slaving myself out. But I always had a drive though. So I'm a fast forward y'all. Like around 2011, 2012, I got a release from jail. I did like almost a year in jail. So I got released in 2012, right? And I made some things change. I made some things shake. And I just things started getting better, I started working jobs. I learned how to cook. Dude took me under his wing. This guy took me under his wing, taught me how to cook for free. No high school education, no college degree. I know everything a chef knows. I learned everything a chef learned for free and more that a chef would have to learn. A chef would have to go to school to one of these institutions, one of these indoctrination centers they call colleges, and study for years to learn what I learned for free. Because a chef seen something in me, he took me under his wing and taught me everything that he knew. And I started to make capital from that, from the skill that he taught me. Things got better. And now, I quit doing that. And now I own my own business. I do my own thing now. Because I've always been rebellious against the system. I never wanted to comply. So that's what got me put in these sticky situations. It started with them trying to break me at a young age. This matrix tried to break me at the age of 19. Trying to the matrix turned my family against me, made my parents agents, put me on the streets for I don't blame myself no more. I blame the controllers of this matrix. These goddamn demiurges, these parasitic entities blackballing me too. I was blackballed too. I was kept out of certain places. Even I can honestly tell you, my parents blackballed me too. Uh, my parents blackballed me at times too. So I was just out there in the wind for a while. But I learned so much from being on the street. I think that's me going through that is what prepped me to come into consciousness, to be woke, to be able to be stronger. That way I can take the pain with overstanding and understanding that this place is like Echoes of Peace just said, like this place is a jail. This is the hell realm. Now I can grow. I can pour water on myself and I can bloom. I can prosper. Now I can grow because of what I went through. So I'm saying I don't want no sympathy from nobody. I don't want no grief. This is me being real. It's just me telling y'all my life experiences. And that's why I don't wish. I get them likes up for me. Get them likes up. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get them likes up for me, please. I appreciate y'all. Love and respect. Yeah, but when I went, that's why I don't wish that on nobody. I don't wish somebody being homeless on nobody, man, because there's so much you got to deal with. Like I said, and I was in a dangerous part of town too. I was living in Louisville, Kentucky at the time. That's where I was raised at. I was born in Mississippi. Born in Mississippi. All my family's down there. We migrated to Louisville, Kentucky, and I grew up there from the age of 4 or 5 years old. You know, and I just never thought at a young age that I would be on those same streets homeless as an adult. But I think my dad kind of cursed me in a way because I was somewhat of a problem child, so called, because I didn't want to do good in school. You know, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. I've always been rebellious against this matrix. I never did good in school. I never made good grades. I'm an old soul, so I came back in here looking to rebel. So that's what I'm saying. I think my dad cursed me because he would see a homeless guy on the street. He'd be like, "Look, that go Kentrell. That go you, Kentrell." I'm like, "Man, how you gonna tell a 7-year-old little boy that I'm gonna be that bum on the street one day? You basically telling me that you not gonna really support me like that." So you best so that's why I'm trying to tell y'all. My dad already had it in his mind that he was, I was going to be homeless. So when the time came, I didn't want to follow the rules, and I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 job at the time. I'm like, man, that's not for me right now. So and so that was an excuse for him. It's like, hey, I'm gonna put you on the street. I see, that was an excuse for him to tell everybody, hey, look, I told y'all he was gonna be a bum. I told y'all, I predicted it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying the Matrix turns these people into apes. Uh, but yeah, I grew from that. Now I just take all my experiences that I learned from being a young man and going through that nonsense. Well, I can't call it nonsense because it helped me. It helped me in the long run. It made me more independent. That's why it made me independent all around, but it made me more independent. That way I could stand on my own. But I never was out there panhandling. That's one thing I can tell y'all. I never panhandled. I never stood on the corner asking for change. I never stood on the corner asking for change because I just feel like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. I'd rather go work for it or try to go shovel some snow. Any chance I ever got to go do some work and make some more money, some monopoly money, I went and did. I go cut some grass, just do odd jobs, and like I told you, I worked in the kitchen at the shelter, I worked at the warehouse, and just man, just walking the street and just having nothing, nowhere to go, just lost in the matrix, man. That's what I did for a long time. I would just walk the streets, young, and just young and lost in this world, in this 3D reality, just walking around trying to figure it out. Like, damn, why am I? Like, I'm at one point in time, I had to pinch myself to make it to actually believe I was actually here. I'm like, man, damn, I'm actually homeless here. I'm actually outside. But me knowing what I know now, nobody should be homeless here in this 3D reality. This is a prison plane. This whole 3D reality is a prison, and it's built on pain. It's built on causing the masses pain. I don't care if you making $500,000 a year. Everybody's one step away from homelessness. Everybody's one step away from being in the soup kitchen line because the way inflation is going now. This was back in '08 too. When I was homeless, this was around '07, '08, and I was in there with this one family. This one guy, he had like 4 kids. He lost it all. He said they had a nice house, they had a camper, they had a swimming pool, they had everything that you would see when you ride down the road that the average so-called American family has. They had it all. And when that '08 crash happened, he lost it all. Him and his family lost it all. So he ended up coming to him and his family ended up coming to the shelter I was at. And the dude told me, he said, man, why are you here? He said, how old are you? I said, I'm 19. He said, man, you too young to be in here, man. He said, you a kid. He said, you too young to be here, man. He said, you don't belong here. A lot of those OGs would tell me that too. They said, man, you too young. You don't belong here. They said, you smart too. They always told me I was smart. They said, man, you too smart to be in here, man. You don't belong here. That's why they always try to reach out and help me. But yeah, that guy that was in there with his family, everything crashed in '08 and people lost it all. People were living out of their RVs. They had somebody out back of the shelter living out of their RV. It was bad. Like, it was bad. I remember that like it was yesterday. And he's like, man, and that dude was like The dude that I'm telling you about, he kind of felt down and stuff like, man, he's like, I don't feel like a man. He's like, I can't take care of my kids like that. I said, man, don't feel bad. I said, everything's crumbling right now. So that's what I'm saying. Me seeing that, I know for a fact, just because something look good ain't good. People may look like they living a high life, but everyone is one paycheck away from being homeless or being in that type of situation. Even me, still to this day, all it takes for me something to happen to me, and I can be right back on the street, But I'm not scared of it though. I would embrace it. You have to embrace it. You have to embrace all fear. So I embrace fear. I embrace living just like I embrace death just like I embrace living now. I embrace all things. They want to keep majority of the sleeping masses in fear. That's what they wanted out of me. So much they got loose out of me. During those years of me being homeless. Right, right. Rich people don't own nothing. Right, right. Yeah, I was being loosed on big time when I was in that situation. That's true. Everybody's homeless. You can't own nothing here in this satanic matrix simulation. You can't own nothing here. But they'll take the basic necessity of this. That's the basic, you know, God given right. Having a place to go, having shelter, Even like just us being spiritual beings, even for the humans, even for anybody living in this plane, being in this existence, the basic necessity is having shelter, and they strip that away from they strip that away from the from us. Like they dangle it over our head. Hey, you don't pay your mortgage, you don't pay your death mortgage, we're gonna take your home away from you, you're gonna be out in the streets. They dangle these things over our head. So we out here having to fight over these resources and shit, This shit, it becomes cutthroat. We out here fighting over basic resources just to have a place to live or some food to eat day by day in this matrix. This AI guy, this AI demiurge, satanic, wicked, ran matrix. It ain't shit. I have no care for this place. Not anymore. Yeah, they very sick. This place is sadistic. Now we own nothing and still happy. That's what they try to say. You will own nothing and be happy. No, we own. You will own nothing and be happy. That's what ain't this what these reptilians tell us? Nah, happy. I'm still happy. I can be living under a fucking pizza box under a bridge and I will still be happy. They won't. They won't. They won't. That's what I'm saying. Like when I got into the material world, when I left the streets, when I left being so called homeless, when I left, of course, right. Um, I thought like I was like basically it's like some a pursuit to happiness type of deal I went through. So when I got around these so-called middle class people, reptilians, NPCs, when I got around these people, these middle class people, these upper middle class, they were doctors, lawyers, they were school teachers, they all had high paying salaries in the matrix, right? So I started at this golf course and I got around these people, around these NPCs. I seen that they was more unhappy than the people I was in the homeless shelter with. The people I was in the homeless shelter with were way more happy, a million times more happy than these people out at this fucking golf course that had $1 million homes. That so-called had it all here in the matrix. They really don't have it all, but they had more. Like I said, they had more morals. They had more dignity. They had more free will than the people living in these $1 million homes that at this golf course. And the people out there, those people out there made me sick to my motherfucking stomach. I couldn't stand none of them because I felt like I didn't. I like man, I worked so hard to get in a position to have a nice car, a nice apartment, or a nice crib, a nice house. And then when I got this shit, I'm like, man, I'm still empty inside. I felt like more of myself because I was more. But then now I'm all the way back down to Mother Earth because I'm a grounded guy. I'm grounded. I'm well grounded. I'm humble, man. And going through shit like that makes you See, it makes you look at this 3D reality from, and that's why I don't have a whole lot of friends to this day. That's why. And I'm just a lone wolf. I was a lone wolf surrounded. I was a lone. I got to the material world around all these so-called upper middle class rich people. I was like, wow, man, these people are more dead than the people on the street. They more cutthroat. And this is real shit I'm telling y'all. Uh, I'm more appreciative of just everything around me, you know. Like right now, my niece got a situation, and she could have easily been on the street. Me being me, like that. Like when I look at her situation, it reminds me of the situation I was in. So I'm like, man, let me take her in, just because I know what it's like. You know, a lot of people ain't had to sleep outside in their car or sleep outside on a park bench when it's 20 degrees outside, so they can't resonate. You know, with someone that would live that shit, they went through that. So it's easy for somebody making 800,000 a year to say, "Oh man, they need to go get a job, man. They why are they homeless? Why are they sleeping on the street? Well, you need to put up the money for these people to be housed. You see how psychopathic they done made society. You see how the Yahweh, the God of this realm, done made some people so unlike with no souls or spirits, man. That's what I'm saying. When I got into the material world, everybody had no souls, had no spirits. They were just mindless sheeple. They had no feelings, none at all. You know, that's what I'm saying. And it was just fake. The whole that like everybody just seemed compared to like me just being around people that were homeless. They seem more organic, more authentic, more real. Even with the people on my channel here, y'all seem more real and authentic and organic. When I'm having conversations with y'all, when I'm interacting with y'all, it feels more like and I know y'all real people, opposed to me being out here in this illusionary world talking to one of you that you can't get no interaction out of. It's the same concept, right? But yeah, man, I ain't gonna be on here too much longer yet. I ain't gonna be on here too much longer. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I just figured I'd hop on here and break down some of my life story. I got some more stories too, you know. I know I do, like I said earlier in the video, I know I do conscious material. I just want to keep it real, man, you know. I'm not one of these other YouTubers and get on here and fake the funk. If I'm gonna be real, we gotta tell it all, right? So I'm just saying this is something that I went through that helped me transition into being who I am now. That helped me come into this consciousness. That's why I have more understanding and overstanding now than what I did before, because that shit that I went through, you know, me seeing that shit at a young age and going through that shit at a young age helped me become the man I am now. That's why I'm so respectful to others. Cause other people just be coming off to me wrong. Like, man, I ain't really this motherfucker fake as hell. Your energy ain't matching your vibes and energy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't be matching somebody. Your handshake ain't matching your smile. You niggas foul. Ain't that what dude said in the song? Yeah, yeah. It helped me see that this is a cutthroat world. It's every man for himself here in this matrix. Your friends, family, interests at heart here. Somebody else gonna tell you some shit that benefits them. Somebody else will tell you, hey man, go over there and work for 40 hours a week. Hey, go join the military. Hey, go do some shit. Something that they want you to do that's gonna benefit them. I've never been the one that was want to do something that's gonna benefit. I'm gonna do it because it's gonna benefit me. Because I thought about it. That's how I've always been an independent thinker. Opposed to somebody else, they're gonna tell you, hey, go do that because it benefits them. Somebody that love you, they're gonna tell you something that benefits you in the long run. Somebody that love you, they're gonna say, hey man, make the right decisions. No go, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna tell you something that benefits you, not them. That's what I'm saying. Majority of of these bots in this matrix that we get surrounded by, they they have been programmed. They have the entities put that inside of their subconscious, and they tell us, hey, go do something that benefits the system. So everything I've been told throughout my life, it was that these people around me was just a puppet, just a mouthpiece for the system, telling me to do something that's going to take me out of my element. But I stayed true to myself. I've always stayed true to who I am. I've never changed. I'm the same. I'm the same dude on here on YouTube as I am off of YouTube. I'm not some YouTube personality. I ain't getting on here putting on a show. This is not an act. This is not a facade. For one, I'm not getting paid to do this shit. For two, this is just who I am. This is who I am off of here and on here. So that's what I'm saying. Me being homeless for all of the years helped me. It developed me mentally to become strong. You know, that's why it's so hard for this matrix to break me. They don't done everything and you can think of to try to break me, and I'm still here standing, tall like a tree. You know, I'm better off. I'm better off now than what I was 10 years ago when I was homeless. I can tell y'all that. Yeah, I'm better off now, but I still know I gotta remain humble. I still gotta remain true to who I am. You know, I can't be trying to go out here trying to be everybody else, be him, her, be this person. I can't try to be everybody. All I can do is be me. You know. But to anybody, man, that's been homeless, you know, and that know anybody that's homeless, man, don't look down on them, man, because this monopoly board, this matrix is rigged to where certain, like, most of us lose in this game, and most of us don't have, you know, we don't, certain doors get shut for us to walk through to really be able to have a winning chance here in this simulation. So we get close to certain venues and doors to keep us out of certain things, like, you know, out of certain businesses, to stop us from prospering. How can you prosper in a place if the rulers of this matrix is against you from day one? So that's what I'm saying. Everything's always been against me, and everybody liked me from day one, you know. But shout out to everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I might do a panel, so whoever want to do a panel with me one day, just, you know, leave a comment. Salute. I'm out.